How do men and women cope with stress differently? One of the biggest reasons for problems in relationships, not because we cope differently, but because we don't understand how we cope differently. That's the whole key, is we just don't understand what we're dealing with. And we don't understand it, we tend to misinterpret it. So how do men and women cope with stress differently? To sum it up very simply, men cope with stress by solving problems. If I'm stressed, okay, what can I do about it? Let me find something I can do and let me do something about it. The most depressing thing for a man is to think there's nothing I can do to solve this problem. That's why men are always trying to solve problems. And they feel best when they're solving problems. So let's say I'm at work and there's all these problems, but today there's problems you can't solve in one day. There's mortgages and bank loans and things that you have to do. I'm going to wait 6 months for. Maybe tomorrow you got a real estate deal. Is it going to happen? Is it not? So at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do to solve this problem. So what do men become experts at? How do you solve a problem that you can't solve? We've been doing it for time, since the beginning of time. We've got this gene that allows us to do it. If you can't solve a problem, no problem. Forget it. And Plato explained it. He said, because he's a very serious philosopher type, he said that life is a serious endeavor, but there's utility and seriousness in being frivolous. And so one has to have frivolous behaviors as well, because they put you on the right side of the brain. So if you go to the right side of the brain and you're a man, the left side of your brain goes to sleep, has a nice rest. If you're on the left side of your brain, it just gets worn out. But see, women can't leave the left side of the brain. They're always thinking, and they're always feeling, and they're always planning to talk, or remembering to talk, or whatever. The whole brain is functioning for women in a different way for a man. Now, we can feel sorry for women, we can feel sorry for men, or we can go, how can we support each other? First of all, let me explain what women do to cope with stress. She often wants to talk about it. She wants to talk about all the problems that happen today. And why would she ever want to do that? From a man's point of view, if there's problems and you can't do anything about it, forget it. And that, by the way, is not a communication skill, men, you just have to practice. Which is, if a woman's talking about a problem, remember not to say these words. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Just forget it. Here's something that I tried once. After a stressful day for my wife, I said, honey, don't worry about it. Let's just have sex. Only once. Didn't work. She'll talk about some problems, and he'll say, just quit that job. Find another job. It's your choice. Do something else. Does she feel like you're even interested in what she had to say? No. Does she feel like you really care about her? No. And the truth is, man, is she really asking for your advice at that time? I mean, men are actually, on a subconscious level, this is where we're coming from. We give, honey, just quit that job. What do you expect her to say? What a brilliant idea. I hadn't thought of it. I have a problem at the job. I could just quit it and find another job. Well, that's great. I feel so great. No wonder you make all the money. She's not going to say that. She's not asking for advice. What she's looking for is using her relationship as a way to cope with stress. See, a relationship, unfortunately, today causes more stress for couples. Some people want to stay at work because the relationship causes so much stress. But ideally, stress is in the workplace. We come home to heal our wounds, to recuperate. We've got love to do it. But we have different ways of doing it. Men need to go off to their cave, their Martian cave, sit, watch TV, read a magazine, sit on his lawnmower, whatever. Have some time alone. Women need to feel there's time where we're interacting. Like, I blew her mind the other day. Because I noticed the night before, she says, oh, I got to get up really early to bring Zoe, our dog, is a little sick, got a tick bite, to have another blood test. She's going to get up earlier than me that day. So I made a point to be up, to give her a hug and ask her if there's anything I needed to do, or offer. Even better to ask is to offer, oh, I'll do this for you. And she said right away, part of the tick bite is the dog was urinating everywhere. And so she's like running around in the morning. She said, oh, Zoe already urinated on the carpet. I said, well, honey, let me do that. So if I had said, would you like me to do that? What do women generally say? No, I'll do it. And the guy goes, okay, well, I offered. I got a point for offering. No, not in that case. So I said, no, honey, you're doing so much. I'll do it. Oh, I just got 2 points. I said the magic words. You're doing so much. Women love when you say that. Love it, men. Just try to get that into your brain. Men have a hard time even thinking that way. Because men go, what do you mean you're doing too much? It's your choice. Do what you want to do. I wish you'd do less. It's like learning how to create the message that you love her. Even though you do love her, but how are you communicating that message? And for women, the same challenge is there for you, to communicate the message. The other day, I cleaned up all the kitchen when she came home from a trip. I'd spotless. And then after I cleaned it up, I left the glass on the counter. She came in, saw this beautiful kitchen, And she goes, well, who left this glass on the counter? That was not a good big scoring point, women, okay? But fortunately, I understood. I know that that's her tendency. Women can see everything. And sometimes when they're in a good mood, they see the good in things. And sometimes when they're not in a good mood and they're stressed, they see all of the not good in things. So we have good communication. I said, oh, yeah, I left that glass there. Hey, did you notice the rest of the kitchen? And she goes, oh, yeah. Oh, it looks gorgeous. Oh, you always do such a great job. It's fantastic. So she just was able to bounce back. And that's the most important thing about mature adults, is when your partner does make a mistake, give them a chance to do it the right way next time. Just let them off the hook. Let them off the hook. The important thing in life, and what I focus on now in my work, is not just communication skills, because I realize as well we have to do a little exercise every day. We have to make sure that we get nutritional supplements in our diet. We're not getting enough minerals in the food that we eat. And if we don't exercise a little bit, it makes a difference. So I'm going to teach you one of 36 exercises I teach right now, which is probably none of you have ever done. I'd like you to stand up. Now, this is done in every culture historically in the world. Africa, Asia, Australia, South America, and it's simply a movement like this. Just simply bounce. Don't have to have your trampoline. Trampolines are fun if your knees are bad. But basically, all you have to do this. And we're going to do this for just a couple of minutes, and we're going to breathe a little deeper. Breathe a little deeper than usual. Breathe in again. Now, this is the African version. Now we're going to go to the Chinese version. Chop. Chop, chop, chop. It's really true. If you go to their, you know, the Chinese are really into herbal medicines. But before they'll give you herbal, you'll have to do this for 20, 30 minutes. Because the herbs aren't going to get anywhere. They're not going to get to your brain unless you've got circulation. You just want to keep this whole thing pumping. You can chop real far. You can kind of pat if you like. Another culture just kind of patting around. Whatever you feel like, just get that body moving. And this gets a little boring. Then you bring your hands up to chopping carrots. Bend your knees a little bit more. Feel more grounded to the earth as you do this. And what we're doing is we're stimulating what's called the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system starts cleansing the cells. And when the cells start to be cleansed, the liver doesn't have to do it. And the liver starts producing enzymes. So you're going to feel it in just a few minutes. You're going to feel all this tingling and aliveness. Okay, now we're going to be like the guys at the airport directing those planes in. Got your flashlights? And we're almost to the last one, which is my favorite. We'll get to it. What this does is it brings energy, circulation to all parts of your body. Did you know the occupation of men that lives longest of any? Conductors. Why? They put their hands over their shoulders all the time. This, just putting your hands above your shoulders and moving them increases circulation to the brain. Better than vitamin C even. A little vitamin C in, this will work really great. Then, my favorite is the rock concert. I go to the rock concerts, and of course all the kids are doing this. I can outdo them all. 52 years old, they're all worn out. I'm going all evening. Because when you do this and you're in shape, you're burning fat. And when you burn fat, you never get tired. So you can't get tired. If you do exercise and you're tired afterwards, that means you were burning sugar. But when your body's burning fat, you never get tired, and you don't get upset at your partner. You're so forgiving and loving and happy. So do these exercises every day. It just takes 5 minutes with your partner. Now, feel your body. That's right. Say, wow. Isn't that amazing? That's aliveness. Very simple. That's fat burning. That's your liver producing enzymes. That's making your brain feel really good. So have a seat for a moment. Every morning, I know how important it is to do a little exercise to get that blood into my brain to produce the chemicals. If I don't have those chemicals in my brain, I can't be as caring, considerate, compassionate, energetic, smart, and creative as I could be otherwise. It's just fact. It's reality, particularly over 40 years old. You've got to get that circulation going. You've got to have some good nutrients in the morning. Make sure you get some good protein in the morning, some good omega-3 in the morning, some mineral supplements in the morning. And throughout the day, you score your points with your partner. If you don't have a partner, you score points with somebody. You be a friend to somebody. You don't have friends, be a good friend, and you'll have as many as you want. You need to be interacting in a place where you're giving of yourself and you're getting acknowledgement back. But I know the fundamental basis of it all is my feeling good about myself and feeling good about my life and what I do. And when I wake up some mornings, I don't. And I just sit there and I stand and I do this. and I do some other exercises to get the circulation going and get the nutrients in my body, and I'm back. And I motivate myself, and I say to myself, John, what are you here for in this world? You love your children. You love your wife. You love the world. You love the people that you help. If you do this, you will be better at doing that. And I know that as a fact. And just imagine if you really believed it to be a fact, that I will perform better, give more, be a better person if I did a little of this. If you believed it to really be true, wouldn't you do it every day? So really what happens is when our brain's not thinking clearly, we forget what's true. So I just want to affirm right now, do you believe that a little exercise, you just did it, a little more effort and energy in your relationships to give would stimulate health and happiness? If you really believed it worked, would you do it every day? Just a little bit of time. Nobody would say no. Of course we would do it. That's what you want to remind yourself for every morning when you wake up, that little reminder. Because truly, when you are being of service, and we're in a world of chaos right now, we often feel helpless and hopeless. What can we do? I know that what I can do is what I can do. And if I'm more loving and more giving and generous to the people in my life, I'm doing my step to help all of mankind step a little closer to the world that we want to create, a world of love and fairness and peace. Thank you all so much. You've been incredible audience.